Rohan loves walks. Are you ready for a walk? You ready for a walk? Right, you gonna wear the glasses?
Come on, no?
You
They were
liked them
funny.
just a minute ago. You thought it was funny.
Remember this? Ha 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 ha. Your turn.
Can you do that for Daddy? For the camera? You don't have to wear them on the walk if you don't want to.
Want to wear these? No.
Just for a minute.
It's okay. I'll do it another day.
Everyone has checked themselves in.
Cool. My boot. My boot. My boot.
What do you see?
I think he sees the people in the park. Ew. Top
What?
boot.
Birds? You see some birds? So tell us your story about the phone. Phone story.
So, yesterday, I was in Haskaz Village and with some friends, and we got an auto. I was distracted, and we were just taking a selfie. And I had my phone in my hand, and I left it in the trunk of the auto. And so, didn't realize it, went shopping, whatnot, left, came back, realized, oh my gosh, I left my phone in Haskaz Village. That's what I thought. So I go to all the stores we went into, and none of them had it. So we're calling it, and then I recalled, I left it in the back of the auto. So I'm freaking out. I'm calling it and calling it. First it's ringing, so we're like, okay, no one has it. Well, then it's shut off. So it's gone, bus, nowhere to be gone. Like, yeah, we couldn't contact it, and the battery wasn't dead. I mean, it had plenty of battery. So we're like, he stole it. The man stole it. Oh my gosh. I did find my iPhone, and it was like, your phone's been stolen, most likely, basically. So it's really upset. And then kept calling, same thing happened. About 3 hours later, we get a phone call. And a lovely Indian man that I love so much and will speak the world of his honesty had overheard this specific auto driver, I wish I knew the name and ID number of this auto driver, talk to another auto driver about one of the Savaris leaving their iPhone, and now he had it. And this man got in a fight with him, grabbed the phone, and then contacted me and came and met me at CP today to give me back my phone. That's justice right there, ladies and gentlemen. There is humanity in the world. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi. So tell us, you got to ride on a motorcycle. What was the motorcycle like?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
How was it? What was it? A motorcycle? Tell us about the motorcycle.
He also cycle.
Cycle. Motorcycle, not just a cycle. It's a motorcycle.
Cycle.
Is he saying nahi?
Yeah, that's what he says in after.
So it's a motorcycle or an auto? Did you ride on an auto?
Cycle.
He's a psycho, he needs a motorcycle.
Oh, that is so cute. All right, buddy, it's time for bed. You say night night. What?
Motorcycle.
Motorcycle. That's it. What is that? What do you have in that? Is that milk? Is that water?
No.
That's cool. You're a cool kid.
Nothing.
Hey, can you go cha, chi cha, cha.
Before catch. Oh.
So we definitely had an unexpected setback this week. As you know from yesterday's video, my grandmother passed away this week. So I will be postponing this Holly Bolly, and it looks like right now Melissa's trying to switch my plane ticket earlier, so we're trying to work through that. We're trying to also finish an American Indian episode. We really need to get that done before I leave. So we're going to be putting our efforts into that. Then I probably will be taking some form of a break I will be trying to do daily vlogs. I will be doing some sort of updating, either through Instagram or through Facebook. We will keep you updated. But the next 2 months will be a little weird because we'll be back in the U.S. So we might do some flashback to India stuff, but it's not going to be the same because we're not going to be here. I've got a little footage here left over from our time with Becca C, so I wanted to share that with you. Just some questions about India, the kind of stereotypical questions we get, and the concerns that a lot of women have about coming to India. So I wanted to pick their brains about that. So they talk about that for a bit. So we thought we'd do a little Q&A today, just share some common experiences and answer some questions from the comments. So one question that gets asked a lot is, what is it like being a Farangi or Videshi or foreigner, Westerner, whatever, living in India? So how many years experience did you have living in Noida?
1 year in Noida and then a couple of months in Mumbai.
We thought we would answer that question, give some thoughts on it. Some people have questions about safety issues, what it's like being a lady. Since I'm not a lady, I can't comment on it too much. I mean, I can observe as an outsider, but being a male in Delhi, I never really feel a danger, so it would be better to get the ladies' response on that. The first question anyone asks us on our channel, at least, and I'm sure you get this question a lot, is why would you ever pick India? And I don't know what the people have against India who are asking that question. A lot of times it's Indians asking it. I mean, I don't know, the place I grew up, I sometimes ask that question, why in the world would you want to come to this place? Because the surf's not good. I mean, why would you want to come to a beach when there's no surf? There are other reasons people have to come to a certain place, and so for me, there is, and it's the cliches, it's the things you hear so many times, the thousands and thousands of years of cultural history, the many numbers of cultures that are represented in languages, and it's just so different from our upbringing and our own culture that I learn new things here. So, and there are other places you can learn things. Latin America, I've learned things there as well. But it's such a different mindset that it makes me think about life a lot more. And we've definitely learned a lot in our 4 years here, and I expect we will learn much more. You can see the type of videos we've made in our first 4 years here. I imagine that will be changing in the future. We've got all kinds of other untapped cultures and types of places to visit that we have a lot to learn from. And people are commenting all the time with, check this place out or check this holy site out, and I'm just like, I'd never even heard of it. So yeah, there's plenty more to learn. So I feel like we haven't even really scratched the surface.
Being a foreigner in Delhi is fun. You kind of feel bad almost saying this, but you kind of get the best of both worlds. Like if you want to have a village experience, you can meet people and have it. If you want to have like the high-end Delhi experience, you can live that experience as well. So as a foreigner, like you do feel like you stick out like a sore thumb in India and in Delhi. So you get that, but then at the same time, sometimes because you stick out like a sore thumb, that actually works to your advantage still here in this country. I feel like more of the time, the guest is God is what I come across.
I mean, except in certain places like Connaught Place, where you've got the touts who are always coming in. Like,
yeah, unless they're...
Can I interest you in some weed? Can I interest you in some weed? Or it's either weed, or it's shoe shines, or it's $10,000 rugs. It's one of those three things.
The why did I want to move to India? As I said, I've been studying in India a couple of years back. And the why was just because I like the atmosphere, I like the environment. Even now I'm here for the first time on holiday. Any other time I've been here, I've never actually been on holiday here. So now I'm just roaming around, like they've just taken me some places as well. And I just like the environment. Even whether I'm just looking at shops or whatever it may be, I just like being here. I like the people as well. And just in general, the family values and just that in general. There's nothing in particular, it's just the environment is what I can say and what I can explain best. I do get asked that quite a lot. And what it's like being an expat in India, i.e. when I was living in India. I would say, at least, it depends why you're here, or your lifestyle, your budget and everything. There's a lot of factors to take into consideration. But I would say it's like normal everyday life of like a local. I think there is a large Indian audience watching as well, so you can understand it's just like a normal life that you would lead. Like I lived in a hostel, except it's a bit of an exaggerated version of it because you do get certain privileges, as Melissa said. So it can be good and it can be bad. Like sometimes you'll get positive discrimination, whereas on the other hand you might get negative discrimination, like, you know, for example, overcharge, or, you know, you're thought of as a certain way, so you have to face that kind of stuff and deal with it. Yeah, it's just normal everyday life. You get on with your life. So for like being an expat in India is just like normal everyday life, as your life is, as a normal Indian girl's life is, just a bit more exaggerated because of those privileges.
What would you say it's like being a woman in India? And do you have any preference on the places that you've been where it's been easier or more difficult to adjust?
Yeah, I mean, like, you judge the situation accordingly. On maybe you would change your behaviour a bit, like I would say, as opposed to living in your hometown. But for the most part, I think people have got a wrong perception of it because, again, it's safe, I would say. People often like contact me and say, you know, I've planned my trip for India, should I, you know, reconsider, should I cancel my trip because I've heard of this, that, like all these horror stories. But at the end of the day, like, as I said, you just go about your normal everyday life, judge the situation accordingly, whether it's what you wear or what you say or who you speak with. You know, it's a matter of common sense. At the end of the day as well, there's only so many precautions you can take and that you should need to take anyway. Maybe a bit more, and say, yeah, I can agree, but it's nothing as what it is perceived, and I think people need to start understanding that you just get on with your normal everyday, day-to-day life, and it's not a matter of like living in fear or anything, it's just normal.
I think it has actually been more of a rallying cry, you know, some of these things to draw attention to some of these issues so that women's rights groups can rightfully say, okay, we need to have a conversation about this, as they're using these to kind of spearhead this movement and talk about it in a good way. But unfortunately, that's gone all over the globe, thanks to Twitter and thanks to the internet, and you know, so now everyone's like, oh, standing in judgment, like, you know, you got,
especially in the way like documentaries perceive India, they only shed like the bad light on it.
Totally.
And I'm like, I kind of feel like it's my responsibility to say that. But it's not like that. Like, that's the extreme. I'm not denying that these things don't happen, but these are horror stories. At the end of the day, you do go about your normal everyday life, and that's what people need to start like understanding.
The nice thing is these days you've got smartphones, so like if I'm going around Delhi and taking an auto or taking a taxi, like usually there's some sort of accountability behind that. Like even with the auto, like I was told, this one father told his daughters, take a picture of the auto's number on the side when they get in and then send it to someone. So like there's always ways to track you, or like now you've got Uber and Ola, which have had horror stories here in Delhi being told about them, but like, there is some sort of main office that knows and can track your whereabouts, and then yeah. So I'd say that I, as a foreigner lady living in Delhi, I do feel pretty safe. Like I feel, and it is interesting. You just kind of have to get a feel for different places. There are certain neighborhoods that I don't like. I feel very safe in our neighborhood. And it's not just because I'm familiar with it. Like I don't know. There are just certain vibes. Like there's certain neighborhoods like where one of our friends lives, and I'm just like, I don't know. I just don't like it. I just don't like her neighborhood. It's kind of, as you go around and get feel for places, you kind of know how comfortable you feel. And right, like they tell you, just be smart, listen to that little voice inside your head, and sometimes when it's starting to put red flags up, like be smart and follow that.
And have a friend that has that, like, she's really good with that intuition thing. I feel like she's always been really good with that, whereas I'm just like, you know, just go through, do whatever. But I think she's always been really good at that. And so you want to find someone like her, not someone on the other extreme though, who's like just feelings up all the time, like, oh, what was that, or who was that guy? Like, you're just a normal dude. Like, I don't know what.
I have a friend like that.
Just freaked out about everything. I mean, I have friends like that in the States. So nothing wrong in this neighborhood. This is like totally fine.
Yeah. There's always, I feel like when you're always talking about this subject, there's the exceptions.
Yeah.
And there's the things that break the norm. It's always.
Yeah. I think it is a lot like to do with statistics as well. Like there's 1.2 billion people in this country. If you think of it like this, if 1% of country is bad, but I mean the likelihood of you ever coming across them is slim. In like say a 2-week holiday, more than likely you're going to have much more good experiences than you have bad. In the whole year that I was there, like there was maybe 2 experiences that I felt unsafe, and that was it.
Oh, that's a question I had for you. Do you have a preference of places that you visited so far in India that's your favorite? Like between Mumbai, Delhi, or
like
Noida?
Touristy places, or
Just I guess in general, like the vibe of a certain city.
it's probably weird to say Noida because people wouldn't really, go to New Delhi for tourism. It's just because I live there, so that kind of feels like home. And Delhi as well feels like home, maybe more so than other places. So as I said, I'm here on holiday for the first time. Other times I was here for other reasons. So I'm just enjoying the environment in general because it feels like home, whether it's Noida or Delhi. So there's no specific like monument or whatever. It's just in general Delhi more so than other places because it feels like home.
So that's it for today. Until Monday, keep it creative, keep it cross-cultural, keep it constructive, YouTube. Thank you very much.